The next morning, the workshop plan was still pinned to the wall. Circuits and numbers filled the page lighting, receptacles, and the saw. We thought we had conquered the math. But Harris's face told us otherwise. He stood silent, arms crossed, until the door opened and a new figure stepped inside. The inspector. He wore a gray jacket, his eyes sharp as knives, clipboard in hand. He didn't greet us. He simply studied the plan for a long moment before speaking. "This design," he said flatly, "will pass no inspection." Kevin blinked. "But we calculated everything. The loads are right. Breakers are sized. Wire gauge is correct." The inspector's voice was ice. "Correct numbers, wrong balance. Look here." He tapped the drawing with his pen. Lighting, receptacles, and the saw crowded on 2 phases. The third phase nearly empty. "Do you want the panel to groan under imbalance?" Maria frowned. "So, even if the loads are right, if they're not balanced it fails." Harris nodded grimly. "Yes, an unbalanced system overheats neutrals, wastes capacity, and can cause voltage swings. Balance is discipline. Balance is survival." The foreman barked. "Apprentice, what happens if one phase carries too much and the other's too little?" I steadied my voice. "The neutral current rises. Lights may flicker. Motors overheat. Equipment fails." The inspector's eyes locked on me. "Correct. And inspectors will re-tag it on site," Kevin muttered under his breath. "So we're jugglers now? Balancing numbers like circus balls?" The foreman's glare silenced him. "It's not circus. War. Balance keeps the system alive." Harris unrolled a fresh sheet of paper. "We redesign. Lighting circuits split. One on phase A, one on phase B. Receptacles divided. One on B, one on C. The saw takes phase A and C at 240 volts. Demand factor applied. Voltage drop within limits." Maria leaned in, tracing the new plan. "So each leg carries near equal current. The neutral rests instead of screaming." The inspector nodded once, the faintest approval. "Better." Harris wasn't finished. He tapped the saw circuit. "Voltage drop. The run is long, 100 feet. At full load, the drop is too high if you use number 10. Upsize to number 8 to keep it within 3%. I scribbled notes furiously. "So even correct breakers and balance fail if voltage drop is ignored." "Exactly," Harris said. "So code is not just about avoiding fire. It is about efficiency, stability, and longevity." The inspector asked suddenly, "What is the demand factor for receptacles in a workshop?" Maria answered quickly, 50% after the first 10. The inspector studied her, then nodded. "Good, you know your tables?" Demand factor reduces oversizing. Without it, copper is wasted. With it, you design lean but safe. Kevin raised his hand reluctantly. "So balancing isn't just even splitting. Splitting smart. Using demand factors, upsizing where needed, downsizing where allowed." For once, the foreman's face softened. "At last you understand." The inspector stepped back, folding his clipboard. "Remember this. Balance is not an option. It is the first thing I check. Unbalanced work is failed work. Do it right, and I sign. Do it wrong, and you start over." With that, he left boots echoing down the hallway. The silence he left behind was heavier than any breaker. Harris spoke quietly. "You see now? Numbers alone are not enough. Balance is the hidden law. Ignore it, and even perfect math collapses." Maria nodded. "Every circuit is part of a dance. If one stumbles, all fall." Kevin exhaled. So much for shortcuts. The foreman's voice rumbled like thunder. "Tomorrow, you face the surge. When motors start, when saws roar, when currents leap higher than you planned, that is the next trial." I felt my chest tighten again. No numbers had nearly crushed us. Balance had humbled us, and now, Harris promised, power itself would surge against us. Next episode, the surge of power.